So the gap is the wholeness of our chatters, and the wholeness of our forni siður, ancient tradition, cannot be heard by our sense of hearing, cannot be touched by our hands or skin, nor seen by our eyes, tasted, smelled. So what on earth is it? How simple were our reverend forefathers. They really believed there is a gap in which things happen, and that's all there is to it. Silly stories. Where comes the evolved God creator into the picture? Monotheistic God couldn't be a gap, or could he? The great void. Sometimes, not always, a pope in Rome officially declared that the Buddha tradition were not a religion at all, as they do not have a God. So, according to that pope, his God is not the gap, not the unified field. Gap Ginnungagap. On top of that obviously baseless gap existence, we cannot explain that Ginnunga thing, that term, that word, its meaning, but by guesswork of Ginn and Ung, the gaping void. And that becomes more and more complicated as words tend to have many meanings. Two roots in one word make the already complex far more complex. So if we look it up in our etymology dictionaries, we get suggestions. Could be, or could be, or could be. This primitive stuff gets more absurd by every step. Luckily, we can curve it in ourselves within that Ginnungagap and find out for ourselves that this is all there is. Raja Peter presents the Total Knowledge Chart with curriculum of Maharishi Vedic University. This is during the 30th anniversary celebrations of the Maharishi's European Siddhaland. This article is in the TM News, this marvelous English paper. Do subscribe to it. Has always been good, gets better and better. The two approaches that are depicted in this chart are contradictory to each other. Convergence and divergence. Our beloved Maharishi says that both these approaches must be used in order to gain total knowledge. This is an essential ingredient to impart total knowledge to every student while he is studying his chosen subject, Raja Peter says. So this is where we can understand the wholeness of consciousness-based education. So who understands that which our heathen primitive forefathers call gap? Brothers 3, Óðinn Vili Véi. They pop up out of nowhere, that nothingness gap. Ginnungagap. The very word gap is from Sanskrit jap or japa, whispered, murmured, muttered prayer. In Danish, gabe means to yawn, gape, to gape and inhale when sleepy. Óðinn, as we know him in the world of men, being a power, has truly some forefathers, Bor, Bur, or Búri, Buri, and Óðinn's mother is a thirst maiden, Bestla, daughter of Bölthorn. Bor is related to the Sanskrit word bur, stem bri. Bur Buva is, for example, a mind-born son of Brahman. Bur meaning to move rapidly, stir, palpitate, quiver. There are many Sanskrit compounds with bu and bu to become, arise, come into being, produce. Some humming or roaring there, as Bor and Bur might be progeny of Ymir or his predecessors. Ymir is meant by some to be If you listen to Bor, then B is not any sound really, just a faint beginning of something. O is really a sound, and really vibrational continuum. Note the hard R in Icelandic. Bor and Ymir, or Ymir as some say, primordial sounds, I would say. Gap, our Ginnungagap, derived from Djap or Djap, to murmur. Ginnungagap most likely meaning the gaping emptiness, we are told. Waves of some sound are there in the field as its inherent attribute.